Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope everyone is doing well. Today I share how to make this delicious Uziza soup. In my opinion, this is one of the most delicious Igbo soups. So keep watching if you want to see how I made this. To begin, I'm going to add my proteins to the pot. In here, I have some goat meat already washed. Next, I'm going to add some stockfish fillet. You can use stockfish head if that is what you have, or cod, whichever one you prefer. Next, I'm going to add some cow skin, also known as momo, and of course, my snails. Now, I am going to season with a bit of seasoning cubes, some salt, and some pepper. I'm using yellow pepper because the fragrance that thing brings to this soup is just amazing. So, add a little bit, give it a quick stir, cover, and allow it steam cook for 15 minutes without adding water. So while that is on fire, I'm going to start prepping the rest of the ingredients. Here I have some crayfish, which I'm going to grind in this earthen pot, and some locust beans. You can use ogilibu if that's what you have, or upe, but this is what I'm using today. Next, I'm going to add some pepper as well, and then grind until it is smooth or roughly smooth. If this is your first time here, I want to especially thank you for clicking. Thank you for watching the video. Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe on your way out if you haven't already. To my returning subscribers, I love you. Thank you so much for always watching. So it's been 15 minutes. Now I'm going to give this a quick stir. You can see some of the juice that the meat have released on its own. So now I am going to add some water and cook until the snail is done. Meanwhile, I'm going to continue prepping. At this point, I'm going to pick the Uziza leaves. For this soup, you need Uziza leaves, of course. You can also add Uziza seed, but I'm sticking with just the leaves for this recipe. I don't want it to be too hot. Yeah, so now I'm going to pick the leaves that are still fresh. See, this leaf crossed plenty oceans to get to me, so please click the like button. Okay, thank you. So now I have washed it. I'm going to slice this as thin as possible and set it aside. Once the snail is done, take it out. It took me extra 15 minutes to get it done. So I'm going to take it out now and continue cooking the rest of the protein. You don't want the snail to overcook. You still want to get that crunch when you're chewing your snails. Yeah, so take it out and continue cooking the rest of the meat. But just before I continue cooking the meat, I'm going to add the dry fish now. I'm adding the fish now because it was quite tough. You want everything to cook down. So add the fish, a bit more water, and then cook until the meat is almost done, maybe 90% done. So at this point, I checked on the meat and it was almost done. I'm not cooking it completely at this point because, of course, we are still cooking. The rest will cook as we go. Now I'm going to add the grinded crayfish, pepper, and dawa dawa. And then I'm going to add some palm oil and some water. We're making soup, so we need water. So add water depending on the quantity of soup you're making. Once you add water, the next thing is to add a thickener. For this recipe, I'm using achi, which I love. I love achi thickener because it has its own kind of taste. I just love it. So I'm using achi. You can use cocoyam, you can use Quaker oat, use whatever is available to you where you are. So before I add the achi, I'm going to dissolve it in some water. Usually I just add it into the pot, but I've gotten some comments that say their achi still come out lumpy in the soup. So This is an alternative way, or maybe even a better way to do it. Add water, dissolve it before pouring it into the soup. Now give this a quick stir and cover for it to come back to a boil. One important tip you should bear in mind is that achi thickens up when it cools down, so you don't want to add a lot when you're making your soup. By the time it cools down, it's going to thicken up. You also want to taste and adjust accordingly with seasoning cube or salt, and then cover so this can come to a boil for 10 minutes on high heat. Ten minutes later, look at that pot of soup. Look at the color, beautiful, and you can see everything is properly dissolved, and look at how silky it is. That's the best part for me. I love how thickeners just do that. So at this point, I'm going to give this a good stir, and then next I'm going to reintroduce the snails. That's the snails that we took out earlier. Add it back at this point, and then I'm going to add the sliced uziza leaves. You want to add uziza leaves on time because uziza is more like a herb. It needs time to cook down so as to release all of those beautiful flavor into the soup. So add it and let this cook for another 7 to 8 minutes, and then I'll come back. Seven minutes later, I check on the soup. You guys, as soon as I opened this pot, the aroma was nose blinding. So good. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to give this a quick stir. Quick confession, I added small water off camera. Yeah, like I said, you don't want this to be too thick while it's still on fire, because by the time it cools down, it is going to thicken up even more. And I generally don't like thick soups anyway. So yeah, do it as you like. Our soup is ready. Take it off the heat. Now I am going to make my eba. Truth is, this soup goes better with semo, akpu, and stuff like that. But with this method of making gari, you'll still think you're eating semo because of how smooth, soft, and silky the end result is. I've shared this method a while ago, I think last year or last 2 years. I'll link that video in the comment section. But if you want to see it again, if you want me to film it again, let me know in the comment section and I'll post that video. Everything is ready at this point. The only thing left is to serve and enjoy. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Let me know if you get to try this out. Send me your pictures on Instagram at joyfulcook_. See you in my next one. Bye.